A popular YouTuber once known for his family vlogging.
Look, go there. Come on. Can't get over here. My car went out there, but you're not ready.
Is now accused of kidnapping 2 women. But the story doesn't end there. Authorities say the Texas-based content creator fled the United States by booking a one-way ticket and hopping on a nearly 20-hour flight all the way to the Middle East. So
my boy hopped on a flight and got out of here. He hopped on a flight and he got out of here. Popular YouTuber about to serve, in my opinion, if they catch him, he's going to serve probably over 50, 60, 80 years in prison, if these are proven to be true. He fled the country and the FBI is looking for him. Not the Texas police, the FBI. So let's see what's going on. We're going to react to Law and Crime. Thanks for watching. No Joker, popular YouTuber, is going down. Like and subscribe. Let's get to it.
how did a man with millions of social media followers end up charged with aggravated kidnapping? Well, it all began on November 22nd. That's when a woman exchanged numbers with 26-year-old Corey Pritchett Jr. The woman told authorities the following day she and another woman met up with Pritchett. They did some pretty harmless activities like working out, ATV riding, then bowling. But it was at the bowling alley where things took an intense turn. While there, the two women felt like something was off when Pritchett and his two friends started acting strange. The women told police they were repeatedly looking around, seemed on edge, and were acting suspicious. The unnamed women told police they learned Pritchett and his friends were having issues with another group that was there at the bowling alley. So they reportedly told Pritchett if he continued acting that way, he should just leave with his friends. Pritchett in turn stepped out with his friends, but never returned, leaving the women behind. After some time, the women texted him because they left their stuff in his car. So he asked them to meet at the H-E-B grocery store parking lot to get their stuff back. When the two women showed up, he switched gears and offered to drive them home, and they said yes. But according to the women, Pritchett flipped the script once again during that.
I don't know what happened in the bowling alley, but I probably got a little bit of clarity on it. In my opinion, I think that the beef in the bowling alley, now that I'm listening, I don't think he had anything to do with these chicks, like a type of a setup, because Law and Crime just said he had beef with the guys already. So did the girls have the guys there waiting on them to start beef and probably rob them? Or did they already know those dudes that was in the bowling alley? That's what we have to ask. My other question is a lot of people not asking. Why would you, as a dude that's popular, you got fame, you got clout, you got money, why would you pick two random girls that you never met in your life, give them a free vacation, not one, but two, ATV riding, horseback ride, whatever they did? Why would you do that? At the end of the night, you take it down with the movies. He practically did like a whole date night with two chicks, a whole date day with two girls. Why would you just randomly just take two girls out and give them a free vacation? Who does that? Remind you, this was in Texas. It's not like they was on an island and he met two girls and it's like, all right, we on the island already. I'm already on vacation. Y'all on vacation. Come on, let's have fun. It's on me. He's living in his state of Texas on a regular random day. He meet two chicks and they do all this vacation activity and he don't even know them.
Drive, he reportedly began acting erratically and skipped what was supposed to be the route to drop them off. The women say Pritchett claimed someone was after him and started making phone calls. Then Pritchett began driving at high speeds, going past 100 miles per hour. The women claim he pulled out a gold-colored handgun and started waving it around the sunroof while still driving erratically fast and began firing off rounds out of the car window. One of the women reportedly told Pritchett to take her back to her apartment and try to calm him down by asking him to pray with them. But he still continued driving crazy fast down the I-10 highway. Pritchett then made a video call to a woman reportedly saved in his phone under future wife. He asked the woman on the call, if I had the perfect opportunity and was in the middle of nowhere where no one could hear them scream, should I just go ahead and do it? And the woman on the line reportedly responded, yes. For the women in Pritchett's car, though, they...
What? Wait a minute. I was in a car riding with these two chicks, wilding out, taking out his gun, busting his gun. Everybody think they a King Von, especially when they got a little money and they corny. And he calls a chick with the number that says future wife, and he asks her about two random girls that she don't even know. The girl on the phone don't even know the girls in the car. And then the girl on the phone says, yo, yeah, off them. Not basically she said off them, but he asked her what would he do if he had two girls and blah, 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 nobody was around. What would you? And she agreed, like, yeah, do you. Take him out. This dude either have low IQ or he has psych issues.
They were seemingly in fear of their lives. The women told police that Pritchett told them, I'm going to F y'all and then kill y'all. By this point, the women said they were texting one another during all of this. But authorities say Pritchett then started pointing the gun at them and took their phones away so they couldn't communicate with each other. According to police, Pritchett then pulled off the highway onto the shoulder of I-10 near Sealy, Texas. Seemingly with a change of heart, he told the women to get out of his car, telling them this is your only opportunity. One of the women said she tried to get her phone back, but wasn't able to. Then Pritchett drove off, leaving them stranded on the side of the road at night. The women told police they spent more than an hour along the side of the highway before they were able to flag down a driver who called 911. But clues pieced together by investigators would help corroborate their story. One of the women had the Life 360 app on her phone, and screenshots, which included timestamps and the route they took, supported the victim's story of what happened. Pritchett was ID'd through his driver's license and...
Ooh, that girl's smart. That girl's smart. Y'all girls need to follow what she did. She had an app. Because she knows, them girls know they cute. They out there all day. They get in a different man's car. They're hopping and getting shopping sprees by men they don't even know on a daily basis. These girls do this all day, every day. That's why a lot of these girls you see, they got a nice apartment, they got a nice car. They look good. They using their bodies. They using their mouth. They using everything they have. They game. They talking. Every day, you get up, you go to work, you get dressed, go clock in. These girls, this is their job. These girls get up and they not clocking in nowhere. They're clocking in the streets. Oh, they walk around. They make sure they have the baddest outfit on, half naked, tons of makeup on, tons of hair, all type. Then they walk the streets. Or they drive around, how they mobility is in the streets. They go around and they just, hopefully, they hope that men holler at them. The men that they don't like, they diss. The men that they like, they try to use and go on shopping sprees and random day, these girls are getting a whole trip. When you interact with strangers on a daily basis, the chances of something happening to you is very large. And these girls know that. That's why they got that app. Follow if you out in the streets, these girls are pretty smart.
Social media pages. But when investigators reached out to him, his phone was no longer in service. Instead, they found out through TikTok that he was planning to move to Dubai.
I moved to Dubai. The people that's want me.
He said he moved to Dubai. Look at him. Look at his long hair. He said he moved to Dubai from TikTok. I know the FBI was looking at that video like, oh yeah, when you get back, we not giving you no bond. The FBI don't care. You know how many people the FBI chasing out the country? Hundreds of thousands. He's little fish. I am not gonna lie. He actually did the most smartest thing he could ever do in his life, and that's leave the United States after you commit a crime. Smarter than most of y'all, even though his IQ a little low. But what does that say about many of us? His IQ low, and he left the country after he know he committed a crime. Y'all commit crimes and still stay here and live in your mama's basement.
Feel so good out here. My kids, listen. So I'm having more kids, right? With my future wife, for sure. And Aiden, my kids are gonna be homeschooled, bro. It's getting real wicked in the United States. A lot of y'all not paying attention because a lot of y'all sleep, and the news outlets are not speaking on a lot of that's going on there. It's gonna get real over there. Y'all might think I'm lying. Y'all might think I'm just talking. Y'all seen other people probably saying it. But you know, people don't believe until the shit hit the fan. That's one thing I noticed about most people in the United States. They want to party, ha ha ha, live life, ha ha ha, until it hit the fan. When they had it, everybody like, oh, they want to scatter. No.
But according to the FBI, they confirmed Pritchett bought a one-way ticket to Qatar on December 9th. A little more than 2 weeks later after buying that one-way plane ticket, Pritchett was officially charged on December 26th with one count of aggravated kidnapping.
Oh, he actually got charged. Wow, he got charged by the FBI. I wonder if he know how big this is. I wonder if he knows how big this is. I wish him luck. I wish him luck.
Charged with aggravated kidnapping, Pritchett still continues to post on social media. On January 4th, he posted an article from Houston news station KPRC, along with the caption, "Letter to the internet, it's finna be a ball. Let the show begin, #Houston, Texas. Let me show you how to take monsters down the #smooth way. You see it says accused, right? Don't worry, LOL. I'm finna give you the details on here and in the court of law. They gonna regret effing with me like I'm just some goofy or some. Oh, and I got the best lawyer in Houston." A day later, he posted a video with the victims as they were ATV riding.
Oh, he crazy. Oh, like for Corey, yeah, he's crazy. The money got to his head. The money got to his head. He think because he has money, he could play and taunt the United States of America, the FBI. He think because he has money. Do you know the FBI took down the mob, like for Corey? The mob damn near owned a large percentage of the United States of America. I'm going to say that again. The mob in equity is proven. They owned a large percentage of the United States of America at one point in time. They owned many, many, many companies. They had their hands in casinos. They had their equity in buildings all over New York, Chicago, Philadelphia. The major cities is where the mob operated. Miami. And you think, like for Corey, you think in your head, you're the mob, that you're going to taunt and take down the FBI? Yeah, man. This is an episode of a boy that never went through any real criminal activity, real criminal court cases, and you shouldn't. But he don't have the experience. He don't have the knowledge to be talking like this on social media when he has an open case with the FBI.
60, which was an app that was on one of the women's phones that helped corroborate their story. Talk to me about how investigators use that type of data to kind of piece together, or at least verify these types of allegations.
Well, in this case, the victim made it easy for law enforcement to track her because they did have the Life 360 app on there. I'm familiar with the app. It's fantastic. And I have used it with my kids as well. So if that wasn't on there, the first step with all these cases, and even if it's a bank robbery or a fraud case, is going to be the phones, and to look in to see if there's any GPS data, tracking data in that phone to find out and to corroborate what the victim is saying that the assailant did.
Yeah, and it's also, unclear right now, but from what we do know now, do you think the erratic behavior on Pritchett's behalf might have been someone actually after him, as he had told these women allegedly? Or do you think there's another reason, possibly like drugs, that kind of made him act erratically during this whole incident?
She basically saying, was he a crackhead? Yo, she eloquently saying, do you think this YouTuber was on crack cocaine during this erratic exchange? Or do you think he was on the drug, what they call it, the one that you drink when the hotties are around you? Lean. Do you think he was on the lean during this exchange of bad communication? This lady is very eloquent. I watch her and listen to her all the time, him and the other guy. And they're very eloquent in their speech, in the way they describe situations in, these crime cases. I love it. But she's very good. Very good. But yeah, she basically called him a crackhead. Let's get to it.
Well, with the limited information, available, you'd be speculating on why he was acting so erratic. So when somebody's acting erratic, there's some a catalyst or some sort of antecedent that make them do that. So either it's something internal or external, and that's one thing that's going to come out, so to speak, in the wash as the investigators do their investigation and start talking to people and find out why he was behaving in such an odd manner. And then the fact that he fled to Qatar, which is kind of an unusual country to go to because of it. I doubt he speaks Arabic. Does he have some sort of connection to that country?
Yeah, and I was also, going to ask you what your thoughts are on him fleeing to Qatar. What all goes into extraditing a kidnapping suspect? And in your opinion, how long do you think it'll take before?
This is the golden question everybody wants to know. What are the laws in Qatar? Do they have an extradition treaty with the United States? Remind y'all, it's a Muslim country, so I personally doubt it, but we'll see. I doubt they giving up a brown man at that. A brown man that fled the United States. I doubt a country like Qatar is going to give him up. Because according to the United States, in the eyes of the United States, this guy is a little fish compared to the people that they're trying to extradite in other countries that did horrible crimes. He just took two hood rats, took them on a ride, scared them a little bit. It's just that's called kidnapping in the United States.
Or he's actually back in the United States.
Well, first thing is, if we have extradition with Qatar, I'm not aware whether we do or don't for that particular crime, because extradition is crime specific. Some crimes are extraditable, some aren't. And then the extradition process is generally very long and takes at least a year to 2 years. Generally, what the authorities do is they just have the country expel or deport the person that's there. It's a much faster process. Unless the person has some sort of citizenship with that country. And I doubt this gentleman has any citizenship with Qatar.
Oh, so the United States could put in for a complaint to deport him instead of extraditing him. Interesting. That's interesting. So they don't necessarily have to fill out extradition process and it'll take a year. They could literally just ask Qatar, yo, can y'all deport him? Like, we need him. Wow. Life of Corey didn't know that, I'm sure.
And do you think that trip was planned this whole time, or do you think he kind of did it as an escape to escape those now criminal charges that he's facing? Because I can't imagine, leaving your children behind to go start a new life in a completely different country and just, leave them behind in Texas.
Duh. Of course he did. You think he doesn't want to take a trip to Qatar after he done been wilding out, shooting gold guns out of a car? No. He trying to get the hell up out of here.
Well, if he was going to Mexico, I would say there wasn't a lot of thought put into it, because obviously it's just right over the border. But to take an international flight, you have to fly through an international hub, whether it be Houston or Los Angeles or New York, and then make a couple of connections to get to Qatar. So, and then, of course, the flight itself is pretty expensive. And then there is going to be some scrutiny on him on when he lands through the authorities there in Qatar. So there had to be some sort of planning to go into it, because, like I said, he's just not driving his car over the border going down to Mexicali. He's going to a foreign country, and it's approximately an 18-hour flight.
Yeah, and booking that one-way ticket as well, too. I can't even imagine kind of going back to this alleged crime as well. Can't imagine what it was like for these two women who were stranded on that highway until they were able to flag down a driver who eventually called 911, and then authorities arrived as well, too. But,
Oh, whatever. I don't care. Whatever. Them girls, man, I don't feel sorry for them girls, man. These girls, they do that all day, every day. They get in man to man car, and they try to show their bodies to get free gifts. Go to the mall. This is the daily, everyday activity. How can you feel sorry for some girls like that? Why do you think they got a Life 360 app? Because they know they dealing with strange men every day instead of going to school, instead of getting a boyfriend, instead of trying to date a regular dude that likes them. They trying to meet men with money every day. Every day. Nobody could say I'm wrong. I know I'm right. Every day. This is what they do.
Kind of going back to the overall alleged offense in this case, what do you kind of make of just leaving two women stranded on a highway, and then just again fleeing off to a completely different country?
Well, that tells me that there wasn't much thought put into this. It sounds more like this was an impulse crime. He was reacting to some sort of something maybe the women had done to him, or vice versa. And this was reaction, and he didn't think it through. And then I think finally it kind of dawned on him that what he had done is basically going to land him in jail. And he essentially panicked, kicked him out or put him on the side of the road, and then obviously left the country. So he's definitely has a lot going on inside his head. And this case is only going to probably get stranger as the investigators dig in.
And you mentioned something earlier in our discussion, just about his whole social media persona, which is kind of another added layer to this whole entire story. Pritchett has millions of followers across different social media platforms, but then you tack on this alleged behavior and this alleged or this crime as well too. What do you make of all of that, given that he was this kind of apparent rise on social media, and then he got kind of famous as well too, doing family content, and then for this to kind of come out? What do you make of just kind of that Jekyll and Hyde situation that we're kind of seeing all unfold?
I told y'all he don't know who he is. He been going through an identity crisis for many years. He don't know who he is. He don't know who he want to be. He don't know if he want to be a rich businessman, a family man, a gangster in the street, a pimp, a dude that's a car guru that like cars and he's a geek to cars, and then he want to be a dude that he want to act like he's stealing cars by doing donuts and wilding out in his own car with his own tires that he got to pay for. I never understood that. But to make a long story short, I told y'all, this lady who's nowhere from any urban area, she analyzed this and she realized this dude is a wannabe. You just heard she said, "What do you think about this Jekyll and Hyde situation?" You already heard it, right? He's a Jekyll and Hyde. He's all over the place. He don't know what he want to be. He don't know. And you know who smells that? You know the number one gender that could smell weakness in a man. Guess. Just guess. A female.
Well, that's from where I started with this, that because of his social media presence, law enforcement was going to have to kind of dig in and kind of determine what the motive behind this was. Maybe he had no intent of harming these women. He was just doing this for the classic clicks. Or, like I said, he had something going on in his life that made him panic. But it seems like there's such in society now, there's such a intense pressure to get quote unquote clicks, that we see these social media people doing some amazingly stupid and abhorrent things. And frankly, I think law enforcement and the society as a whole is really kind of getting tired of it. And the hammer is starting to fall on these people for their behaviors.
Now, say Pritchett makes it back to the United States, he's facing this kidnapping charge. How long of a, potential sentence or punishment do you think that he could?
Okay, here we go. How much time? How much time would Lord Clifford Corey get for this? That's what we all want to know. What's the number? 50 years? 80 years? Life? He's 26 years old. They give him 30 years. Come on, in his 50s. He could still ride around and shoot guns out the window with two baddies in the car. I could tell you that. But will he be able to even afford a car after all the legal funds he's gonna give up, and this is millions of dollars because they had to get him from a whole nother country. Yeah, he's not gonna get bail. They're gonna make him suffer because anybody that leaves the United States and comes back to the United States after committing a crime, look at the history. Look at it. Do you ever see them again? Do you ever see them again? Think about it. Think about all the people. Let's go Google it. Think about the people that left this country after committing a crime, and the United States had to use their resources, the FBI, to go get you. Where are they now? Are they free, living a regular life? Or are they hidden in a federal max prison?
Could be facing now.
Well, if the federal authorities get involved, I believe you could get up to life in prison for kidnapping. So depending on the circumstances and if it's provable.
I told y'all. Go watch my first video with Life in Court. Watch my other video. I told y'all. Kidnapping, especially first degree, you could wind up in prison for life. And you didn't hurt the person. You didn't kill the person. The person is a little traumatized. They probably will forget about it in 2 years. But the United States, they'll give you life in prison for that. Play around if you want.
In this case, he didn't take the victims over state lines. So there is an argument that it's not a federal crime. However, there is a kidnapping statute in Texas. So, and Texas has a pretty aggressive law enforcement culture there. So he's going to be facing some jail time if it turns out that this was legitimate kidnapping and these women are willing to testify.
All right. Well, Colin, I want to thank you so much for joining me and giving me insight into this case. Before we sign you off, though, anything else you'd like to add?
I think it just comes, like I said, full circle about all this social media clicking nonsense, and it's really gotten out of hand. And I think it's long past time for authorities to start cracking down because people are getting harmed.
Yeah. We don't want to hear that. We like the clicks. We making money. We the new media. Get out of here. We talk about Life in Court. We ain't talking about us. We're talking about social media getting too many clicks. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for clicking. Thanks for subscribing. And we'll catch you later. Crime, politics, and hip hop.
Daddy, why the world is so crazy?